Welcome and Social Sciences. The Mace bearer today is Dr. Mary U. D'Anico, Professor and Associate Chair of Psychology and Sociology, and recipient of the Outstanding Advisor Award. Carrying the college banner is the valedictorian and outstanding graduating senior of the college, Mr. Christopher Vordahl. The Department of Communication. Department of Economics. The Department of English and Foreign Languages. The Department of Geography and Anthropology. The Department of History. The Department of Music. The Department of Philosophy. Department of Political Science. The Department of Psychology and Sociology. the Department of Theater and New Dance. The Platform Party and President J. Michael Ortiz.
Good morning. Before we proceed, please rise and join me in welcoming Ms. Kara Borchardt from the Department of Music, who will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. Borchardt, for that lovely rendition. Please be seated. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sharon Hillis, Dean of the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. Thank you. Welcome to our 2014 commencement exercises. Les brindo felicitaciones a los que se gradúan hoy y una bienvenida muy especial a sus familiares y amistades que nos honran con su presencia. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college, I offer congratulations to our graduates and a special welcome to their families who join us here today. Let's give all of those families and friends a hand. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the distinguished members of the platform party. I ask that they stand as I read their names, but please hold your applause until they have all been introduced. Dr. Bruce Brown, Chair of the Department of Economics. Dr. Jill Hargis, Chair of the Department of Political Science. Dr. Richard Callan, Chair of the Department of Communication. Dr. Horner, Chair of the Department of Psychology and Sociology. Dr. Lin Wu, Chair of the Department of Geography and Anthropology. Professor Bernardo Solano, Chair of the Department of Theater and New Dance. Dr. Lori Rhodes, Dean of the College of Letters, Arts and Social Sciences. Dr. Dale Turner, Chair of the Department of Philosophy. Dr. Amanda Podani, Chair of the Department of History. Dr. Lilian Fukuloro, Chair of the Department of English and Foreign Languages. Dr. Stephen Garcia, Vice President for Administrative Affairs and CFO. Dr. Douglas Freer, Vice President for Student Affairs. Ms. Michelle Stoddard, Vice President for University Advancement. Mr. John McGuthrie, Vice President for Information Technology and CIO. Mr. Christopher Vordal, Valedictorian and Julian McPhee Honor Award recipient. Ms. Rizé Gonzalez Aguilar, Class Gift Representative. Dr. Daniel Lewis, Associate Dean of the College of Letters, Arts and Social Sciences. Dr. J. Michael Ortiz, President of the California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. Dr. Martin Dandor, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Allison Baker, Provost's Award for Excellence in Teaching recipient. And Dr. Mary U. Danico, Outstanding Advisor and Mace Bearer. In addition, I would like to introduce our special guests in the audience. Seated in front is our wonderful First Lady, Mrs. Betty Ortiz, and next to her, Ms. Sandra Davis, newly retired Executive Assistant, President's Office. So please now, let's give them all a hand. Thank you very much. It is with great pleasure that I now go to the podium a man who has done more for us and for this college than words could ever express. Please join me in welcoming a true friend and supporter of the College of Letters, Arts and Social Sciences, President J. Michael Ortiz.
Thank you, Dean Hillis. Commencement. It's the moment our graduates and their families have worked toward for years. I earned my bachelor's degree 40 years ago, and I remember what it was like as if it were yesterday. Put down your phones and programs and take it in. You did it. Your college experience doesn't end today. The lessons you've learned, the friends you've made, and the challenges that you've overcome will carry you throughout your lifetime. Stay connected, stay informed, and stay involved. You can do it by participating in the Teacher for the Day program. You can serve on boards. You can join the Alumni Association. There's a number of different ways that you can maintain this contact with the university. I am going to be retiring this December, and that means that you and I share a special bond because we're all class of 2014. Through the years, I've learned that you can never reach a new high point in your life alone. For me, I've relied on my wife Betty to be a partner and friend through our highs and lows at Cal Poly Pomona. I have relied on the expertise of countless people that include the great faculty and staff on this campus, and people like Sandy Davis, our newly retired executive assistant who has worked for 4 of the 5 Cal Poly Pomona presidents. Commencement is made possible because of people like Teresa Navarro Rodriguez and Diane Carter and their dedicated team who put this event together. So how about a round of applause for them? Now, I want you to think back to your experience. You did not arrive at this point by accident. Through dedication and hard work, you have reached this pinnacle. But remember, no one has ever completed this journey alone. Many people, including professors and loved ones, have traveled with you and helped you along the way. How did they guide you, support you, encourage you, Graduates, please join me in recognizing the special people in your life by standing and giving them a well-deserved round of applause. Class of 2014, as you move on to graduate school or the workforce, head out with confidence. Cal Poly Pomona graduates have an edge. Your classroom experience actually involves solving real-world problems. You have studied under experienced faculty, and you have been immersed in one of the most diverse campuses in the nation. You just don't understand diversity, you've lived it. Now that the investment you've made in your education will pay off many times over. In 2014 College Return on Investment Report, Cal Poly Pomona ranked 74th out of 1,300 colleges and universities. That puts us at the top 6% in the country. We are a regional powerhouse. Payscale.com found our return on investment stronger than local universities like USC and UCLA. In fact, we placed better than all the UC campuses with the exception of Berkeley and San Diego. But you didn't pay UC tuition, did you? Or the high price of going to a private institution. Did you know that you don't pay the full cost of your education? California taxpayers and university donors supported your education. At the end of this month, we will close the campaign for Cal Poly Pomona. Donors have given more than $150 million in gifts, pledges, and bequests to keep our university at the cutting edge. Thank you, Scott Warrington, for your vision in this program. Do you know why they would give so much to Cal Poly Pomona? It's because they believe in you. They believe in your potential to succeed in the workforce and contribute to the greater good. Years from now, there will come a time in your life when you will look back on your career and marvel at your good fortune. Remember those who invested in you and consider paying it forward so that you too can provide the way for future generations. Today is your day. You have completed one of the most important journeys of your lifetime. As you consider your next steps, I urge you to head out of here. You can heat it as well. Head out of here with confidence and seize the opportunities before you because you have never been more ready. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now I would like to introduce the senior class representative, Ms. Renee Gonzalez Aguilar, who will present the senior class gift to President Ortiz.
President Ortiz, Dean Hillis, members of the stage party, distinguished guests, and fellow members of the class of 2014. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind something for the campus community. It's about leaving the university better than it was when we first got here. This tradition succeeds every year because of another long-standing tradition at CPP, philanthropy. The senior class gift is entirely funded by donations from graduating seniors. This is truly a gift from us to the future students. Our gift will be to purchase and install electronic charging stations throughout campus study and gathering places. These stations will charge cell phones, tablets, e-readers, and even laptops. President Ortiz, I am honored to present this gift from the class of 2014.
I never would have imagined that 11 years ago when I came to Cal Poly Pomona that we would be celebrating more electrical power. But clearly, it's one of the vital parts of what we do on this campus in terms of the accessibility we have through technology. I know that the future generation of students at Cal Poly Pomona will really make use of this gift. Thank you, class of 2014.
At this time, it is my privilege to present the Julian A. McFeed Award for Student Excellence to our valedictorian. This is an award that the university has given since 2002. Julian McFee was the founding president of both Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He provided more than 35 years of dedicated service to the citizens of California. This special award was thoughtfully funded by an anonymous donor who is a colleague of Julian McFee's. It honors a current graduating senior who exhibits excellence in his or her academic endeavors. It is now my pleasure to present the Julian A. McFee Award to the outstanding graduating senior and valedictorian of the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences, Mr. Christopher Vordahl. Mr. Vordahl? And President Ortiz, would you join us at the platform as well?
Thank you.
Do you have your speech?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, President Ortiz and Dr. Hillis. Good morning, students, family, friends, and staff. I'm truly grateful and honored to be the valedictorian for the graduating class of 2014. This achievement would not have been possible without the love and encouragement from my friends, family, and professors. I will make sure to honor your support by fulfilling my goals and becoming the best that I can be in my future endeavors. For all of us, today marks another milestone. This is a period in our lives where we are both beginning and finishing another chapter in life. As the day goes on, I would like you all to take a moment to reflect on the tangible and intangible elements that contributed to your success here today. I encourage you to remember the person you were when you first walked onto this campus and the person you are all now today. The growth we have made as individuals over the past several years have shaped us, and not just in academic terms. The intangible characteristics of perseverance, dedication, diligence are the byproducts of our success that will stand out no matter what road we choose to pursue in life. Consequently, as you leave this university, you have not only received a college education, but you have also developed characteristics that will make you all effective leaders and model citizens. As we begin our new lives as college graduates, many of us have questions, even fears about what may come about in the future. I believe that the best way to conquer our fears, doubts, and insecurities is to believe in ourselves. In 2004, Sergeant Major Brad Castle was wounded in Fallujah, Iraq, after using his body to shield a fellow wounded Marine from a grenade blast thrown by the enemy. Despite losing 60% of the blood in his body, the Sergeant Major never gave up and engaged the enemy until his evacuation. Several years later, he wrote a book called My Men Are My Heroes, which detailed his heroic courage on that fateful day. One day I received a copy of his book with a powerful message. On the first page he wrote, "Chris, today and every day after, you will find challenges and obstacles appear before you. Take life head on and tackle it with full force. Get inspired, set your goals, and work hard to achieve them. Your mind and your heart are powerful weapons. Fully engage both, and you'll go far." To you, my fellow students, do not fear the unknown. Stay true to yourselves and never give up. Endure your moments of adversity, and always remember that your heart and mind are your guide. Together, they will provide a roadmap to victory. Congratulations, class of 2014. I wish you all good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Vordahl. I would now like to ask Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Danbour, to present the Provost Award for Excellence in Teaching. Provost?
Thank you, Dean Hillis. With the generous and continued support of President Ortiz, the university recognizes the accomplishments of our faculty with the Provost Awards for Excellence. These awards are given in the areas of teaching, service, and scholarly and creative activity, and they acknowledge the central role that the faculty play in making Cal Poly a superb place of teaching, service, and scholarship. Awardees must meet the very highest standards of excellence in their fields. And so it's really a great pleasure for me to announce that the 2014 Award for Excellence in Teaching goes to Dr. Allison Baker, who's Professor of English in the English and Foreign Languages Department in the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. Dr. Baker really embodies what it means to be an outstanding teacher. She can guide students through medieval literature in the original Middle English, no less, and have them understand and enjoy it. She challenges her students, to not just read the literature, but to absorb it deeply through examples of their work. In the classroom, she uses a variety of teaching methods, including critical papers and journal entries, and even comic strip stories and crossword puzzles, as well as literary translations that are performed actually in class. She provides numerous teaching workshops and presentations to her colleagues, and her colleagues really view her as having really mastered the art of pedagogy. Dr. Baker says of her teaching philosophy that she wants her students to take with them a deep understanding and appreciation, and a new knowledge of and awareness of language, and confidence to really read the world on their own and begin writing their own stories. One of her colleagues says of her, students leave her classes invested in serious academic inquiry, armed not only with historical background, but also an array of critical and performative practices. In my 25 years at Cal Poly, I've known many excellent professors, but I can't say that I've encountered teaching more excellent than that of Dr. Baker. So it's an honor and a privilege to present to you the 2014 Provost Award winner for excellence in teaching, Dr. Allison Baker.
Good morning. Thank you very, very much. I've been asked to limit my speech to 200 words. English majors? That's tricky, right? It's not just me. But what an honor to be recognized for doing something that makes me so happy. And thank you, first, to the world's best husband and 2 charming children who love and support me and inspire and enable all I do. I'm very grateful for the wonderful colleagues and mentors I have here at Cal Poly Pomona. It is a veritable treasure trove of great teaching models. But the proof of our success as a teacher, of course, lies in our students. What a brilliant system of reciprocity. I teach them to teach themselves, and they end up teaching me about language and legends and literature and life. Along the way, we find treasure everywhere. From the, wait, that's what that word means? Moments, to the recognition that we are telling the same stories over and over, and they are still helpful. Odysseus is still wily, the Canterbury Tales are still hilarious, and fairy tales and myths still teach us how to live. It really is all connected. You've forged one more connection today. You are all members of the class of 2014, and we are very proud of you. Congratulations on achieving this milestone. Now, go change the world.
Thank you very much, Professor Baker. It's very difficult to make it through college these days without the help of a truly expert and truly good advisor. We pride ourselves in this college on having excellent advisors who are knowledgeable, caring, and approachable. Please join me in acknowledging the advisor that the students have selected as the best of the best. This year's outstanding advisor in class and mace bearer from the Department of Psychology and Sociology, Dr. Mary U. Danico. I would now like to call on the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Denboer, to present the candidates for the master's degree. Provost Denboer.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Psychology, Master of Science in Economics, Master of Arts in English, Master of Arts in History, and Master of Public Administration please rise? President Ortiz, I present to you the candidates for the Master of Science in Psychology, Master of Science in Economics, Master of Arts in English, Master of Arts in History, and Master of Public Administration. These candidates have completed the requirements for the master's degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. President Ortiz.
Candidates for the master's degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Psychology, the Master of Science in Economics, the Master of Arts in English, the Master of Arts in History, and the Master of Public Administration, with all the rights, honors, and opportunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated until you're directed to the stage.
Will the graduate coordinators and chairs who will be hooding the candidates from economics and psychology please come to the ramp on my left? And will the graduate coordinators and chairs who will be hooding the candidates from history, English and foreign languages, and public administration please come to the ramp on my right? Will the candidates for the master's degree please rise and follow the directions of the ushers with your hood folded over your left arm. Stop at the reader table and then proceed to the platform to be hooded by your department's graduate coordinator and to receive recognition from President Ortiz and Provost Denboer. Then proceed down the center ramp and back to your seats as directed by the ushers. We will begin with economics on my left and history on my right.
Charles E. Moore.
Saba Mamayaz.
And that completes the awarding the degree Master of Arts in History. We will now begin the awarding the degree Master of Arts in English.
Gazal Pishdarian. Zohara Zoval Levine.
Donovan Siton.
Raha Borajani.
Kristen Renell Murakami.
Abdullah Al-Kradis.
Jan Wang.
Anis Ayaz.
Anthony Adele Abraham.
Kevin Christopher McDonald.
Casey Thompson.
Sirac Raim Rodriguez.
Danielle Lee Kofer.
Marilyn Medina Tanyas.
Rebecca Ann Salaya.
Shuang Zhang.
Kristen Tamayo.
Inje Zhou.
Christy Geraldine Moskovitz.
Fei Liu.
Alice Carranza.
Todd Michael Nichter.
Winston Ryan Falkenstein. And that completes the awarding the degree Master of Arts in English. We will now begin the awarding the degree Master of Public Administration. Vanessa Echevarria.
This completes the awarding of the degree for Masters of Science in Economics. We will now begin the awarding of the degree for Masters of Science in Psychology. Sarah Reynosa.
Gzal Abed Bishara.
Bridget Michelle Vasquez.
Veronica Jasmine Ortega.
Robin Marie Tamanaha.
Teresa Gonzalez.
Carolyn Ann Kidd.
Louis Frank Lacasella.
Lindsay Sue Omiers.
Charles Ernal Corlett.
Nora Amina Bilal.
Frederick Christopher Mulliman.
Yvette Marie Diaz.
Tony Taiwo Agavon.
Valen Chiang.
Maria Lourdes Aquino Taylor.
Katrina Garcia Nieri.
Salvador Mendez.
Desiree Ileana Navarro.
Jose Bartolo Garcia.
Caitlin Jean Larkins.
Kevin Malone.
Amanda Sue Saylor.
Rebecca Maria Soldad Pennington.
Robert Glenn Tristan. Arturo Martinez Trujillo, Jr. Michael James Hansen. This completes the awarding of the degree for Masters of Science in Psychology.
This also completes the awarding of the degree for Masters of Public Administration.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? President Ortiz, I present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended for their degree by the faculty of the California State Polytechnic University.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science with all the rights, honors, and opportunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. In academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel on the mortarboard on the right side. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves to the tassel to the left and joins a select company. In recognition of your new status, will all recipients of the baccalaureate degree move the tassel to the left? Please be seated as you are given directions to come to the stage.
Class of 2014, you are commended for your effort and your accomplishments. Please follow the directions of the ushers to the stage. Present your card to the reader, then step forward. After receiving your diploma covers, exit down the center ramp and return to your seating area following the direction of the ushers. Please remain in your seat until the conclusion of this ceremony. We will begin with the Department of Communication. Alberto Giovanni DeGidio.
Hillary Elizabeth Gonzalez.
Alexandra Patricia Reyes Mondoya.
Hannah Esther McDonald.
Christina Kazura.
Melissa Diane Kinder.
Joseph Liu.
Magali Marie Sanchez.
Christine Sharp.
Selena Elizabeth Bautista.
Sadia Salahuddin.
Amanda Ray Willis.
Mitchell Aaron Becerra.
Teresa Hong Ho.
Karen Sabina Servin.
Brittany Marie Boone.
Amy Tran Deep.
Janine Catherine Longo.
Andrea Paulina Rocco.
Genevieve Ochoa.
Emil Abikhalil.
Jewel Ashley Gant.
Alana Michelle Reynolds.
Delana Elise Black.
Ashley Lauren Orozco.
Maria Angelica Ala Villarreal.
Natasha Gaby.
Wendy Alexander Huerta Martinez, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Jeffrey Stephen Coy.
Robert Anthony Varga.
Seema Topchian.
Kimberly Melody Lee, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Annette Cordova Sotomayor. Haley Christine Ledesma.
Jessica Sade Lee.
Alexandra Nicole Mraz.
Cambria Chanel Jean Batiste.
Rosalinda Gonzalez.
Tarek Omar Ross Jr.
Madeline Elizabeth Feld.
Brittany Nicole Chavez.
Stephanie Dominique Arias.
Christine Elise Hall.
Drew Spencer Merriman.
Alexis Marie Howes.
Amy Christine Navas.
Josephine Ellen Egan.
Genevieve Barragan Sandoval.
Omar Elatar.
Juan Carlos Madrigal Jr., summa cum laude.
Justin Gerard Ingram Towns.
Alicia Sanchez.
Andrew Jonathan Parias.
Monica Lisette Ornelas.
Brian James Stoffer.
Isaac Reynaldo Carranza.
Megan Larissa Sands.
Laura Gutierrez.
Mina Nava Rodriguez.
Jeffrey Stephen Zita.
Aaron Colleen O'Brien.
Andrew Stephen Delgado.
Carlia Janeth Villalobos.
Brian Joseph Camarano.
Samantha Leanne Jordan.
Eileen Marie Pollock.
Benjamin Hugo McCaney.
Laura Avila.
Samantha Susan Stiles.
Ashley Rose Bruno Cox. Rachel Catherine Mellon. Rawan Salame. Troy Jonathan Platt.
Heather Alicia Delia Corder.
Ryan Lewis Gaeta.
Martin Cabrera Jr.
Patricia Cristal Sanchez, cum laude.
Susan McLaurin McGinley.
Annalie Aniki Fogt, summa cum laude.
Nadia Harisha.
Christopher Adam Tang, cum laude.
Jackie Tran.
Gore Petrosian.
Jamie Michelle Mojica.
Sharon Alexis Grempel, summa cum laude.
Alisa Aristigi.
Nathaniel Eric Brown.
Kendra Arlene Rodriguez.
Israel Nunez.
JC Tatiana Amesqua. Eugene Paul Arianas. David J. Murillo. Beverly Kitling Young. Antoinette Marie Rodriguez. Samuel Alexander Islas. Alyssa Brianne Casas. Samantha Marie Calderon. Ruben Michael Ventura. And that completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Communications. We will now begin the awarding of the degree for Bachelors of Science in Economics.
Philip Del Rio Salas II.
Luis Chavez.
Michael R. Villarreal.
Raymond Seng, summa cum laude.
Carlos Enrique Ale Jr.
Wayne Tong.
Alvin Fukumori.
George Diaz.
Berenice Buelna Bojorquez.
Eric Paul Ratrikraporn.
Ian Haley McClure.
Claudia Alejandra Valencia.
Rayanne Renee Ramirez.
Brandon Anthony Kemp.
Joseph Wallace Nilsson.
Saul Villavicencio.
Alejandro Puentes, cum laude.
Steve Alexander Montalvo.
Brandon Aragon, cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Robert Gene Schott, Jr.
Alexis Aguirre.
Jonathan Michael Watkins.
Kathy So, magna cum laude.
Nicholas Carrillo.
Mark Ryan Haltom.
And that completes the awarding degree Bachelor of Science in Economics. We will now begin the awarding degree Bachelors of Arts in English and Foreign Languages.
Mark Ryan Haltom. John Micah Kadornigara. Sean M. Cargill.
Nicolette Duong.
Jonathan Soto.
Derek Michael Smith.
Marilyn Larios. Jennifer Selena Rivera.
Laura Razzo, summa cum laude.
Edgar Angon, cum laude.
Sophia Raquel Araya.
Yesua Picasso.
Jillian Walker.
Judith Jacqueline Andrio.
Jennifer Lisa Vermeer.
Priscilla Marie Casanova.
Janelle Lynn Ashmore.
Ileana Garcia.
Miranda Jade Brunker.
Laura Rico.
Sandra Escoto.
Max Dang.
Randy Lee Wagner, summa cum laude.
Christina Elizabeth Rosselli.
Lucia Jimenez de Lopez, summa cum laude.
Paige Elizabeth Sundstrom.
Megan Miranda Cavazos, cum laude.
Sarah Mehar Mansour.
Andrea Elena Doldy.
Tyler James Vincent, magna cum laude.
Aaron James Colrick.
Nicholas Matthew Oy.
Stacy Elizabeth Resnicek.
Danielle Barkley, magna cum laude.
Devin Rochelle Lenning.
Grace Moya Matias.
Sergio Jesus Vargas.
Kayla Moore.
Christina Marie Nielsen.
Laura May Sandoval, cum laude.
Janet Fernandez.
Ninette Agasaturian.
Brianna Marie Flores.
Alexandra Diana Shubin.
Brianna Nicole Lopez.
Janira Rodriguez. Gabriela Maria Fuentes. Andres David Morara. Giovanni James Pasanato. Anna Cristina Morales. Abigail Elizabeth Houtman Inman, summa cum laude, President's Council Scholar, Kellogg Honors. Fariba Nagedi Baradaran Hajar. Corinne Ann Concepcion.
And that completes the awarding the degree Bachelor of Arts in English and Foreign Languages. We will now begin the awarding the degree of Bachelors of Science in Geography and Anthropology.
Andrew Dylan Edwards. Lauren Michelle Willie. Sarah Nicole Mercado. Esteban Guillermo Barbosa. Brian Isai Menegazo. Nicholas Aaron Gorecki. Brian Yee. Sarah Catherine Lafia, summa cum laude, President's Council Scholar, Kellogg Honors. Alexandria Fusibun, summa cum laude. Amy Ann Anderson.
Madeline Christina Marie Santoyo, McNair Scholar.
Lauren Jaylene Gutierrez.
Amelia Rose Heston.
Julie Marie Sanchez, cum laude. Cynthia Casares.
Andrea Calvillo. Catherine Dawson.
Timothy Vondersar.
Roberto Galvan.
Ariana Giselle Uribe.
Victoria Noemi Serrano.
Edgar Duarte.
Muhammad Amin Aziman.
Jenny Ramos.
Desiree Clarissa Menares.
Fonda Sue.
Matthew Fisher.
Nisma Rashid.
Joseph Daniel Costa. Sarah Rose Mendelson.
Danny Newen.
Emerald Mancia.
Nicole Ann Fernandez Munar, summa cum laude.
Matthew Charles Galvan.
Byron Edkid Adonis.
Alex Anthony Munoz.
Jason Conway, magna cum laude. Catherine Sidney Colin. Chelsea Bolivar. Megan Brittany Salsi. Blair Caitlin Hillis. Renee Gonzalez Aguilar. Melanie Starr Lerman. Kaylee Nguyen. Kin Bao Tang, summa cum laude. Brad Matthew Rockhold.
And that completes the awarding degree of Bachelor of Science in Geography and Anthropology. We will now begin the awarding degree Bachelor of Arts in History.
Lori M. Graham.
Sung Park, magna cum laude.
Jessica Delilah Huerta.
Selena Larissa Segura.
Samantha Sue Sutcliffe.
Stephen Ray Segura, McNair Scholar.
Laura Elizabeth Fisher.
Elizabeth Victoria Guadarrama, magna cum laude.
Sabrina Renee Sermeno, magna cum laude.
Donna Lynn Villagomez, cum laude.
Mark Philip Key Howe, summa cum laude.
Erica Velasquez.
Michael Wayne Jones.
Nare Kachikian.
Christopher James McCaleb.
Jessica Christine Floyd.
Chelsea Sage Stein.
Andrew Virgil Malonzo.
Daniel Thomas Mejia.
Dustin William Ramsey.
Jennifer Rose Henley.
Wyatt Hickman.
Christopher Earl Reen.
Mario Alberto Paredes.
Ashley K. Kibler.
Alan Michael Sean Parks, cum laude.
Nicholas Catcher.
Kevin Andrew Laurel.
David Earl Buck.
Kristen Marie Moorfield.
Christopher John Arroyo.
Gina Angela Reisetter, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honor Scholar.
Michael Eric Grudner.
Austin John Piazza.
Max Edward Carroll.
Tanner Daniel Terry.
Michael James Murphy, magna cum laude, President's Council Scholar.
Adrian Naranjo. Sergio Daniel Campos. Alan Kim Schultz. Anthony Michael Gonzalez. Emmanuel Javier. Robert Andrade. Sean Alistair Chung, summa cum laude. And that completes the awarding the degree Bachelor of Arts in History. We will now begin the awarding the degree Bachelor of Arts in Music.
Austin Lee Diekmeyer.
Evan Lomnitzer, summa cum laude.
Alex Gonzalez.
Daniel Everett G.
Trevor Christian Vasquez, cum laude.
Robert Howard Duffy, magna cum laude.
Stephen Paul Beavis.
Peter William Duff, cum laude.
Brandon Lee Heron.
Michael Jeremiah Kemp, summa cum laude.
Robert Christopher Cartwright.
Alana Marie Chiftanos.
Joel Solis.
Abigail Chia.
Edward John Wright.
Monica Roxanne Estrella.
Aya Ida.
Madi Rita Gandaria.
Matthew Miyagi Berger, magna cum laude.
Austin Ott, cum laude.
Sean R. Panado.
Caleb Joseph Bolka.
Jeremy James Uzo.
Josue Manuel Gomez.
Oscar Vitug Custodio Jr., magna cum laude.
Tyler Henry Wagner, magna cum laude.
Danielle Lynn Roberts.
Daniel Soto.
Megan Michelle Bird Benavente.
Priscilla L. Contreras Soto.
Taylor Simone Ledward.
Estras Garcia.
Tremaine William Wilson.
Aaron Gallardo.
Jay Quinones. Ethan Allen Brim. Charles Benton Dugan. Nicholas Mongi.
And that completes the awarding the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Music. We will now begin the awarding the degree Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy. The amazing Billy Bronco.
Jason Scott Dominguez.
Gregory Gurney, summa cum laude.
Patrick Michael Gibson.
Antonio Alberto Ayala. Tyler Lee Davies.
Ashley Brianna Anda, cum laude.
Kyle Patrick McCauley, cum laude.
Justin Charles Myers.
Kevin Ulysses Rubio.
Sean Douglas Medina.
Christopher Richard Palm.
Christopher Anthony Murillo.
Joy Yin Chang, magna cum laude, President Council Scholar, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Joby C. McLaughlin. Jacob Aristides Bustamante. Lance Sadia.
And that completes the awarding the degree Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy. We will now begin the awarding the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. Nestor Alejandro Della Torre. Tim Toledo. Sung Jin Kim. Daniel Anthony Soto.
Richard Lee Flincham III. Marlene Joanna Frausto.
Patrick David Shishariba.
Jessica Marquez, magna cum laude, President's Council Scholar, McNair Scholar.
Mary Ellen Dela Cruz Banzuela.
Tracy Hernandez, magna cum laude.
Rana Aziz Abrouchade, cum laude.
Benny Lai.
Ryan Michael Bauer, summa cum laude.
Caitlin Rose Ward, magna cum laude.
Bryce Brady, cum laude.
Amelia Marie Carter, cum laude.
Denise Cisneros.
Bilal Hassan Akram, cum laude.
Delilah Godunio.
Gregory Martin Fisher, cum laude.
Noheli Dolores Gonzalez.
Heather Michelle Snow.
Adam Nasla.
Cesar Navarrete.
Salvatore Rafael Palomino, summa cum laude.
Jared Scott Dunbar.
Danielle Leigh Murphy.
Dennis Oliver Thorburn.
Daniel Kammel.
Christopher Brian Vordahl, summa cum laude.
George Doctorian, magna cum laude. Christopher Daniel Valenzuela. Jessica M. Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Ron Pascual. Blanca Isabel Perea. Junwen Marisol Trujillo. Victor Eduardo Munoz. Mary Elizabeth Rosano, magna cum laude. Sarah Michelle Nenadovic. Armando J. Asensio Jr. Stephanie Sosa. Jesus Alfredo Navarro. Natalie Arceli Velasco. Stephen William Gunsky. And that completes the awarding the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. We will now begin the awarding of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Sociology.
Shirley Jean Elder.
Regina Luisa Lore, summa cum laude.
Karen Eiko Siegel.
Cecilia Rose McCoy.
Natalie Osonko Zeka.
Sarah Elizabeth Napolitano.
Sarah Jean Hernandez.
Nicole Hamrang.
Shirley F. Warren.
Usma Nasir.
Marisol Karina Sanchez Torres.
Diana Irene Ardarian.
Jessica Jasmine Magana.
Lorena Renee Velizin, cum laude.
Basia Vilchis.
Aubrey Nicole Estrada, summa cum laude.
Jennifer Natasha Kalana Chayar.
Erin Elizabeth Frame, cum laude.
Rachel Lynn Lauerman.
Paola Andrea Gonzalez.
Sophia Marie Martini, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Jean-Marie Njan, summa cum laude.
Kelly Ann Outcalt.
Laura Lynn Reyes.
Caitlin Ann Portelli.
Erica James, McNair Scholar.
Elizabeth Jeanette Tarrin, magna cum laude.
Sarah Marie Hirschman, magna cum laude, President Council Scholar and Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Bijan Joshua Bezai.
Sabrina Castro.
Kristen Elizabeth Garabedian.
Vanessa Marie Diaz.
Nikki Ancona.
Joanna Noemi Cruz.
Elizabeth Margaret Shea.
Jennifer Loretta Hambro.
Marie Helen Dadras.
Ariana Cifuentes.
Jessica Ann De La Rosa.
Denise Sesma.
Anne Truong, cum laude, McNair Scholar.
Deanna Ali Plunkett Williams.
Orlando Ortiz.
Hannah Hope Perez.
Tracy Paola Arriaga.
Danielle Carolyn Nelson, cum laude.
Vanessa Ashley Valian.
Dana Sanchez.
Brittany Crystal Brooks.
Isamar Chavez.
Kiera Simone Dixon.
Melissa Lynn Kwan.
Brandy Renee Burris.
Yana Ridlova, summa cum laude.
Hubert Yang.
George Luis Castillo.
Brittany Sierra Beswick.
Cindy N. Romero.
Alana Christine Naro.
Leonard Pinto.
Allison Cuellar, magna cum laude.
Andrew Christopher Miller.
Hannah Nancy Sprague, summa cum laude.
Victoria Elizabeth Roldan.
Adrian Davis.
Brenda Hernandez.
Ian Beach, cum laude.
Jenny Munoz.
Antonio Giovanni Sanchez.
Christina Leticia Majardo.
Mane Aslanian.
Jesus Mitri.
Zachary Orozco.
Christopher Taylor Minton.
Emily Marie Balandra.
Mary Teresa Meza.
Jesse Castellanos.
Starla E. Hendricks.
Brittany Marie King.
Promise Chantel Middlebrook.
Danielle Renee Ordaz.
Ariana Garcia.
Erica Deborah Sanchez. Sarah Wan. Aaliyah Berryman.
Janet Toski, cum laude.
Christina Acosta.
Maria Guadalupe Mancia.
Michelle Ashley Cisneros.
Isela Pina.
Yuritsi Hernandez, summa cum laude.
Simone Monique Berry, cum laude.
Tammy Tere Chaparro, magna cum laude, President's Council Scholar.
Sarah Ann Almeida.
Stephen Augustus Lopez.
Adisha E. Porcel.
Juliana Araceli Rocha, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Lawrence Horbino.
Elizabeth Esparza.
Arlene Roberto Banuelos.
Alyssa Pantoja, cum laude.
Casey Mitsu Watanabe.
Natalie Isabel Ortega.
Mariah Elizabeth Goldbach, summa cum laude.
Andrea Maria Diaz.
Jasmine Marie Valdez Beltran.
Raquel Ana Perez.
Stephanie Lee.
Crystal Nicole Jewett.
Christina Angulo.
Manuel Santiano. Joshua John Niehaus.
Jasmine Burgos.
Javier Heras.
Luis Enrique Cruz.
Clarissa T. Glover.
Nancy Rios.
Roger M. Kwan.
Amy Cristiano.
Tyler William Buffington.
Samuel Alcala Cannon.
Erica Enriguez.
Justin Daniel Trichter.
Cindy Carolina Alvarado Vilela.
Christian James McCollum.
Lauren Alyssa Ariola.
Lily Ewan Nguyen.
Brooke Monet Anderson. Valeska Cristina Perez.
Fabi Diaz Colarte.
Sabrina Irene Correa.
Sarah Correa.
Alejandro Zimeno McNair Scholar.
Myra Hilda Barajas.
Juliana Valencia. Carmen Velasco. Rita Nicole Ulate. Betsy Ariana Corona. Sheena Alvarado Galindo. Amanda Sanchez. Brittany Valdez.
Patricia A. Moreno.
Eric Haugen.
Denise Mendoza.
Lauren Ashley Martin.
Jessica Irene Moreno.
Cynthia Hernandez.
Maria Array Hernandez.
Carolina Bugarin, summa cum laude.
Janet Lopez.
Erica Vasquez.
Maria Elena Medina.
Stephanie Suzanne Tagle.
Daniel Pimentel.
Luis Jimenez, summa cum laude.
Carlos Alonso Torres.
Ashley Jane Boggs.
Christine No.
Amy Marie Plowman.
Alexander Armendariz.
Megan Beatrice Godoy.
Jackson Tong.
Lydia Jacqueline Higuera.
James Donato Cunha, cum laude.
Kelly Marie Lopez.
Lauren Marie Hutton.
Nigel Mark Leos.
Andrea Kitlin Whitlock.
Precious Ann Nagit Manalo.
Catherine Elizabeth Spencer.
Hannah Burke.
Delmi Guadalupe Guadardo.
Christian Aiden Baltazar.
¡Sí se pudo!
Ashley Natalie Torres.
Lisette Ortega.
Michelle Vaca Aguilar.
Jason Charles Churchill.
Lourdes Vasquez.
Hina Pervez.
Ricky Ruiz.
Jessica Lee Moon, cum laude.
Evelyn Castillo.
Julian Michael Anderson.
Brandon Lee Burris.
Yoko Kobayashi.
Jocelyn Chavira Gonzalez.
James Higuera.
Jasmine Andrea Mims.
James Matthew Fonseca.
Thomas Allen McKinley Dalton Robinson.
Alan Joe Baca.
James Vincent Attrell.
Josefina Gonzalez.
Jessica Tar Swinford Davis.
Kathy Fang.
Eric Delamora.
Lynette Angelica Romero.
Judy Chen.
Lizette Zambrano. Ariana Abigail Quinones, cum laude. Ana Leah Ochoa San Andres, cum laude.
Kirsten Lynn Alcarez.
Elise Margaret Felton, magna cum laude.
Crystal Deanne Goodwin.
Bernadette Martinez.
Sarah Kate Olson, magna cum laude.
Caitlin Emily Shellac, cum laude.
Ashley Elizabeth Newsom.
Nancy Kathleen Trujillo.
Carrie Ann Fisher.
Myra Alejandra Sierra.
Jacob James Mackey.
Vanessa Davila.
Ashley Sui.
Jocelyn Patricia Manguia.
Carolina Lemus.
Jessica Maricela Molina.
Grant Wong, cum laude.
Jonathan Alexandro Martinez.
Amber Sanchez.
Mary Lou Lopez.
Maricela Mandabiz Costner.
Faustina Manriquez.
Ryan Takumi Aguino.
Carolina Cruz.
And that completes the awarding the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Sociology. We will now begin the awarding the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Theater and New Dance.
Kevin Vincent Chang.
Dylan Parra, summa cum laude.
Ashley Leanne Riley.
Sarah Elise Villa.
Luis Arredondo.
Cecilia Xiomara Gutierrez.
Alex Setien.
Corinne Helen DiTullio, cum laude.
Jamie Louise Grubensky.
Vanessa Marie Babida.
Andrea Marie Lopez.
Jenna Lenore Avila.
Adriana Yvonne Flores.
And that completes the awarding the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Theater and New Dance.
Will the class of 2014 please rise? Thank you. Will you please be seated? It has been my pleasure to preside over the 2014 commencement for the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. I would ask that the audience please remain seated during the recessional. At the end of the stage party recessional, our 2014 commencement will be formally concluded. Thank you for being with us.